Welcome to another edition of the Doc Spiders Update. This time we have Cade Crenshaw with us. He is a sophomore at South Carolina University, University of South Carolina, excuse me. And he will be our play-by-play broadcast intern this upcoming summer. Cade, thanks for taking the time to sit down.
Absolutely, Marcus. Excited to be here and even more excited for the summer.
Absolutely. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about how you got into this career path within the broadcasting field? What made you choose South Carolina, and just kind of a little bit about, kind of the past few years and what you've been doing?
Yeah, so, grew up a sports kid, and basketball was always my specific sport. It was one I was really, really good at in terms of my level of being good at it, I would say. And then you go into middle school, try out for the middle school basketball team, make final cut, final days, and then I'm the last kid cut, so I'm kind of stuck there. And well, I can't play basketball anymore, so what am I going to do? With a lot of my friends and teammates made the team, so I'm still going to go watch them. A little school spirit there. Well, my middle school principal, he actually had just started a on-campus internet radio station playing all these 80s and beach music hits. Well, he approached me and said, would you be interested maybe in broadcasting the basketball games? So, I've never done that before. I've never even given that a thought about doing that. So let's just try it and see where it goes. So that's what we did, and it grew from there. That started in 7th grade. I did all the boys and girls basketball games there, and then into 8th grade, I started doing halftime interviews of the boys' game with the best player from the girls' game. So kind of talked to her during that game, and we had fun with that. Then to high school, I started working at the local radio station in my hometown, local FM radio station, and then my senior year, I started broadcasting with a local Division II college right near my hometown at Southern Wesleyan University. So, and then that blossomed obviously into college and continue to grow in this field. I love to learn, and I love to tell stories. And that's the best part about this job is I get to tell stories, because every game I get to broadcast or every interview I get to do, it's simply telling a story. And that's the best part about my job every day.
Can you kind of talk about what goes into kind of the prep work behind the scenes that maybe people who aren't as familiar with broadcasting and kind of how all that works, the game maybe being the easy part on your end with really the build up, prepping for it, and then post-game work as well?
Yeah, so obviously the game is probably the easiest part of the job, being a play-by-play broadcaster. It's the prep work that really takes the time and really takes the energy, because you'll get a roster, when you get to the game of height, maybe a hometown and jersey number, maybe you're in school. That's not always guaranteed when you're broadcasting, D2 and D3 athletics. So you work with what you can, and that's really just doing your research. Google's my best friend. Trying to find, local newspapers that did stories about, these athletes when they were in high school and maybe even now when they're in college. I would say on an average week, I probably spend a couple hours a week prepping for a game. I make up my boards. I have my own design, and every broadcaster has their own design, but that's the best part is getting to do the prep work. And I probably spend a little bit more time on prep than I do homework for actual school-related events, but I don't think that's too big of a deal.
Do you have any superstitions with broadcasting?
So I do have one, and it's a little odd. Growing up in athletics, you hear of different superstitions. Some players don't wash their socks, although that's a little bit of a grosser one there. For me though, before every time I do a play-by-play broadcast, I have to have a pack of regular chocolate M&Ms. That's always been my favorite candy growing up, and I don't know when or where the superstition started there. But before a game, I'll just open up a pack of M&Ms, have it with my water, and enjoy those for the game. That kind of gets me in a happy mood, gets me excited about the game. And I don't know, it just feels I feel a little uneasy if I can't have M&Ms.
So my follow-up question to that is, how many times have you not been able to have a bag of chocolate M&Ms before announcing?
So funny story, this past fall, I was broadcasting some high school football here in South Carolina, and the concession stand was out of M&Ms. So I was like, oh man, this isn't going to be good. It had already thrown off, my mojo there. And sure enough, during the game, we had power problems with cameras, and we had technical difficulties, and I was kind of off my game a little bit. So listen, the M&Ms are the key to a good broadcast.
So it is a true staple for you then.
Absolutely, for sure. I've got to have it.
That's awesome. What makes you so interested in joining the Doc Spiders organization and relocating to Fond du Lac this upcoming summer?
I've never been to Wisconsin, so that's going to be new for me. Growing up here in South Carolina, obviously now I'm kind of looking to expand a little bit, see where I can go and meet new people and what new stories not only I can learn, but also I can retell. With the Dock Spiders, that opportunity was just one that I was very interested in from the very beginning. When I first saw the internship posted, the main thing that drew it to me was I would get to broadcast 72 games across 75 days. I always tell people when I sit down for a broadcast, yeah, it's a lot of work that goes into it. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of energy. But it's me living the dream. This is my dream job every day when I get to broadcast athletics. People pay me to talk about basketball or baseball or football or soccer, whatever it may be. That's living the dream for me, man. It really is. As the old saying goes, if you love your job, you never work a day in your life. But yeah, I love my job.
That's the truth. What is your favorite sports team? And also, what is your favorite ballpark food?
So my favorite sports team would probably have to be the Dallas Cowboys for football. That's always been my childhood team. For baseball specifically, I would probably go with the Atlanta Braves. I've always been a Bravos guy. Ballpark food, ooh, that's tough. I'm a big chicken fingers person. I love chicken tenders, chicken fingers. I think they're synonyms now. So whichever one you want to interchange there, get a little honey mustard or a little ketchup. Those are my two go-to sauces. Curly fries, always top it off. But also, I know Atlanta Braves games, they have popsicles, King Pop popsicles. Those are the best. So maybe a little chicken tender and fry combo to start out, maybe in the first or second inning. By the time the seventh or eighth rolls around, I'm ready for a popsicle.
What can you kind of tell us about what we can expect over the next few weeks, looking at doing our player announcements of players who will be joining us this upcoming summer from conferences all across the country? What can you kind of tell us a little bit about what you plan to do with that and how we're going to release those on our end?
Yeah, so one big thing we're going to be doing over the next couple, weeks and months, Marcus, leading into that start for us up in Wisconsin is we're going to let our audience learn a little bit more about the team that they pack the stands for and cheer on each and every day that the gates are open. We're going to let you learn a little bit more about the fun facts, right? You can learn where they go to school and their batting averages, but like you said, can you know their favorite ballpark food or their favorite movie or their hobbies? We're going to give you a personal connection to these players. So that way, when they step to the plate, you might know them a little bit better as, oh, that's the guy who loves Star Wars, than, oh, that's number 13.
That's great. Looking forward to it, and appreciate you taking the time to sit down. And we'll see those players rolling out here in the next few weeks.
Absolutely, Marcus. Again, excited about this summer as well, but obviously the weeks leading up to it, we're going to be zooming in on the Dock Spider. So let's get ready.
Sounds great. Thanks for taking the time, Cade.
Thanks, Marcus.